All right, guys. So Kenobi, man, was one of my most anticipated series that I could think of for Disney Plus. Man, I was absolutely looking forward to this series so much. So after I got done watching it, I wanted to just take a step back. I took a week off because I wanted to love this series so bad, and I didn't want to absolutely bash it, but. Even taking a week off and thinking about everything, it's still like, oh man, it could have been so awesome. And I'm gonna try to stay away from spoilers, okay? So without getting too far ahead. After watching the first 3 or 4 episodes, I was really upset with this series. I'm like, what the fuck is this garbage? They make Kenobi a weak little bitch. They basically did to Kenobi what they did to fucking Anakin. Not Anakin, fucking Luke. Get them mixed up now. Luke. They basically did to Kenobi what they did to Luke in the not the fucking prequels. Oh my god, now I got prequels on my mind. Oh, the fucking sequels. The Disney movies. Fuck. So they made him like this weak little bitch, and it was really annoying to me, and they focused on other side characters I didn't even know and things like that because I'm a casual fan. I haven't watched like Clone Wars and a lot of the other like spin-off things, like the animated things like that. I did actually get around to watching Bad Batch a little bit, so but for the most part, I'm a casual fan. I've watched like the main movies, and that's basically it. And then I've seen like Mandalorian and things like that, obviously, Book of Boba Fett, and all the Disney Plus series. But I haven't gotten into a lot of the cartoons things, so I consider myself a casual fan. I haven't gotten into the books or anything like that. I don't know all the backstories and outs, things like that. So after the first 3 or 4 episodes, I was like so angry and mad. But then I talked to Lightning about it, who Lightning knows a lot more about Star Wars than I do. And he kind of talked me off the ledge, and he was like, he's been away from the force and things like that. He's been out of practice. That's why you don't see him using his force powers, things like that. Plus, he's trying not to use his force powers because he doesn't want Vader to detect him, which we'll get to later on because that's also another fucking issue I have with it. So, yeah, after the first 3 or 4 episodes, I was really annoying. Then towards the end, it started getting really good, and I actually enjoyed episode 5 quite a bit. And then we got episode 6. And I think it was 6. There was 6 episodes, right? I don't know. Like I said, I took a week off from it to see what happened. But the finale. And the finale was like the most badass fucking Star Wars shit that I've ever seen. Probably like some of the most badass scenes I've ever seen in Star Wars, combined with some of the most confusing, and maybe I just don't understand how the Force and everything works, like, with continuity issues, and just like, what the fuck do you mean? So we'll get into that. Like I said, I'm gonna try to stay away from spoilers too much, but there were a couple things that just right now, like, they just bug me. So look, correct me if I'm wrong, leave a comment, but isn't the reason like Anakin turned to the dark side and everything because he loved Padme, and then Jedi's aren't supposed to love; they're not supposed to have feelings. Okay, right? But they do the most trope thing ever with fucking Kenobi, and in his moment where like he's absolutely getting his ass beat down, he thinks about the person that he loves and cares about the most, and it makes him the strongest fucking Jedi that ever fucking existed, and he's chucking planets and throwing moons, and he's just like this awesome Super Saiyan fucking Jedi. He goes Super Saiyan all of a sudden because he thinks it's someone he loves, and I'm like, hang on, wait, the Jedi aren't supposed to have feelings, right? Right? Am I wrong? Maybe they're allowed to have feelings sometimes. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just a casual fan. I don't know. Like, but it's bugging the shit out of me because I'm like, why does his love for this person all of a sudden make him incredibly strong? that bugged the fuck out of me. That was the first thing that, like, I couldn't get past. I looked past a lot of shit that bugged me in this series, but that was like one of the first things that I was like, I can't look past this because it seems like such a glaring issue. So, I'm drinking beer. I had to drink a beer to get through this. So, as I was saying earlier, so I think one of the reasons Kenobi isn't using the Force and he's hiding himself is because he doesn't want Vader to detect him. Across the fucking galaxy, like millions of miles away, he's worried about Vader detecting him, right? But in the finale, Vader can't detect that he's still alive. And I'm trying to stay away from spoilers, but it's really hard because the things that bother me about this are so terrible. Vader can't detect that he's still alive and using the Force extremely powerful when he's like 5 feet away. What the fuck do you mean? He's right there. He's holding the ground. He's using the Force like... What the fuck? This is just bad, lazy fucking writing. And I get why they did it, because it did set up some of the most badass fight scenes I have ever seen in Star Wars. And that's where it's like, damn, this was awesome, but damn, this was stupid ass writing. So it's like, I'm so torn. And that was my second issue with the whole thing, is that and that. And then what was the third thing? Fuck. Now I gotta try to think of it. Okay, so the third thing that really bothered me is the ending was a total cop-out. And I'll try to say this without spoiling or explaining it to you. But the way they end this series is so basically they can say, okay, like, if it ends right here and we don't do a second or third season, then this explains why Kenobi is where he is. And it literally leads right into the beginning of A New Hope. Or, if we do decide to do a second season, if the show does good enough, or a third season or whatever, then there's the possibility that we can just bring him back to why he is and where he is in the beginning of The New Hope. Like, the ending is such cop-out writing. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? So they were basically insecure, and they weren't sure if the show was going to do good enough, or they weren't sure maybe Ewan McGregor would come back, or Hayden wouldn't come back, or anything like that. But so they wrote it in a way where they're like, well, we could, if he doesn't come back, it'd be fine. If he does come back, it'd be cool. We could keep going too. Like, okay, cop out. Okay, cop out artist. Okay, you do good. So,
okay.
And I know, okay, it sounds like I'm shitting on the show a lot, which I didn't want to do. But those were my three main issues that, even though I overlooked all the other issues, those were three that I was just like, even as just a casual fan, someone that doesn't understand all the intricacies of the Force and characters and things like that. I had no clue who most of these characters were, like the bad guys that looked like fucking whatever, vampires or whatever. I didn't know who they were. The Inquisitors, I think they're called the Inquisitors. I didn't know who they were. And that's another thing that bothered me, is they spent a lot of time on storylines that had nothing to do. I can't say nothing to do because they tied them in with it, but that I didn't know had anything to do with Kenobi and Vader. So now I know those storylines exist, which I guess they've existed in like other things, like I said, Clone Wars, I guess, or other shows like that. So, but for me as a casual fan, I didn't know they existed, so I was kind of annoyed, like, why are we spending so much time? But I do think the one girl that we spend a whole lot of time on, I think she's an original character. I think I heard that somewhere, because I've heard other people complaining about how much time they spent on her, and she's nowhere in the lore. She's just like an original character. So, whatever. Okay, that's fine. They tied it all together. They spent time on that. I will say, I absolutely loved the actors' performances, man. They were all great. Fucking Hayden Christensen came with it, man. Like, whoo, he came with it, and like I said, he had some of the most badass scenes in Star Wars I've ever seen. So anybody that hated him from the prequels, he pretty much totally redeemed himself here. Hang on, AJ, my voice is itchy. So Hayden Christensen was a total badass. Kenobi was badass. Basically, all the characters were good. All the acting was good. All the cinematography, the settings, like, it was all beautifully done, except for there were a couple shots that were, like, really dark, like, super dark, where I'm like, what the fuck is that? But that's okay. That happens in all sorts of movies and shows, so. But for the most part, like, everything about this series was amazing. It was everything I was hoping it would be, except for the writing. It's like they forgot the lore of Star Wars. They just fucking forgot it.
I am sorry. I have been a horse's ass.
And then, like, you got, I don't want to go into spoilers, but then you got fucking Anakin doing shit that doesn't make sense, and he should be able to detect Force users when he can't, when they're, like, literally right there, and he thinks he killed them, but they're still alive. It happens multiple times in this series, where he kills a Force user, and they're a foot away from him, but they're actually still alive. It's like, okay, but can't you detect Force users from galaxies away?
No.
What the fuck do you mean? So they do it multiple times with different characters, not the same character, different characters. So that, to me, that was one of the problems that just stood out so poorly. There's a bunch of other ones. There's continuity issues. There's just writing that doesn't make sense. Like, wait, how? Okay, so you had a ship that could jump into light speed, but you didn't use it to save anybody. You just went on alone by yourself, and just things like that. And then, like, Kenobi showing up right at the end, like right in time, even though he's on the other side of the fucking galaxy, he's able to show up right in time towards the end to be there for Luke. And God, I know I'm getting into spoilers, I'm trying not to, but fuck, man, the writing in this series was just, it was bad, dude. And it felt, I knew it when I watched episode 5 and it got to the end of episode 5. I was like, holy shit, there's only one episode left. They're going to rush the shit out of this. And they did. They rushed the fuck out of it. It felt very rushed to me.
Whoa, that was a rush. Woo!
So, that's it, guys. Like, that. God, but like I said, I didn't hate it. It was not a bad series. It just had some very poor decision making in the writing process of it. The directing and everything like that, the acting was all beautifully done. I enjoyed it. And so for that reason, since the only thing I can really bash about this series is the writing, because everything else was badass, but the writing was so bad. I'm gonna give it 7 out of 10. I'm gonna dock it 3 points for those 3 things that just bugged the shit out of me to the point where I couldn't look past them. And it was just like, God, why did you do this? Like, why? Doesn't make any fucking sense. There are some cameos that are fucking awesome. I won't get any of that. They used Hayden Christensen way more than I thought they were going to use him. They had characters in there. They brought back characters that I did not think were going to be in there. And so all that was fucking awesome. And so I'm literally just docking the points for the shit that didn't make sense to me. But like I said, I'm a casual fan. So for you hardcore people like Lightning and people like that know more about the Lord, leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys thought of this series. Maybe I'm just totally wrong and full of shit. But I feel like a 7 out of 10 is actually pretty high compared to what I've seen even other reviewers giving it. I actually enjoyed it. I really liked it. There were just things that annoyed the fuck out of me that I couldn't get past. So I think it's a solid 7 out of 10 is good. I think that's a good rating. I feel confident with that. But that's it. That's my full review, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Feel free to leave a like, subscribe, and as always, thank you for watching. I am the one and only Z. Bye bye. What's up, guys? Z Shit here. Now, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. What? What that? That's it. That's all I got. Get the fuck.